Coming up on this edition of Speed Chronicles, sunshine in St. Pete.
SIG Media presents Speed Chronicles with Todd Lewis, powered by Rev TV.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. We do it every Wednesday on the Rev TV YouTube channel. Also available, of course, on your favorite podcast platforms. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And please make sure you follow us on all the socials as well. Okay, St. Pete, IndyCar opener. What a race. What a weekend. Who's afraid of Alex Palou? Yeah, I may have heard of him. 3 times in a row, he's won a championship, has 4 altogether. I think everybody should kind of be afraid of Alex Palou right now. How many races is he going to win this year? Television and the series, they were a little slow to the party, I think, last year in terms of piling up victories. If he gets a few more in the first few races of the season, and they come in quick succession now, how quickly do you get on board with the how many is Alex Palou going to win? Does he have a shot at the all-time wins record for a single season? It's 10. I think we should be on that a little bit earlier this year because the way he won at St. Pete, driving with one hand on the wheel, man, finishes 12 seconds ahead. He made it work. And it just seems like this team picked up right where they left off at the end of last year. Super strong, always in control. There was a mistake or two that may have cost him a win or two last year, or he would have really been challenging for that record. Something to keep an eye on this year. I covered it a bit last week, but this event is so highly regarded by everyone in the city, everyone within IndyCar. Drivers love it. It's a great kickoff. It's a great launch for the season. The crowds were enormous. Best ever. 22 years in, this thing continues to grow and improve. The events around the race, sensational. They do a charity 5K run each year, have been doing it for a number of years. Sold it out this year, raised more than $100,000 for charity. This is the kind of stuff that helps build an event into more than just a race weekend. I'll tell you as well, people from Markham, they were there. They're here to learn and understand what makes this event a success. They want some of that there. It's not going to be the same in year number 1 as it is in year 22 with St. Petersburg, but they're paying attention. They understand what's at stake here. I'll tell you who else was there. Those that are working for Arlington. IndyCar plays the support role to NASCAR this weekend in Phoenix, but right after, they head to Arlington. It's a first-time event. They have big plans for this event. They are paying attention. They are spending a lot of money, putting a lot of resources into this. They are looking after a lot of details, and they want that to be a signature event for IndyCar. And it looks like it's going to be. Seems like things are going the right way for a successful launch. I'm looking forward to being there and seeing it up close and personal myself. Okay, so the rest of the card at St. Petersburg, the trucks, they were phenomenal. MX-5 Cup, mixed bag. First race stunk. Second one had lots of great action. Probably in total of the 90 minutes of racing, there was about 23 minutes of good racing action, which is kind of disappointing because normally MX-5 Cup is sensational. It was great. The first one marred by a bunch of yellow flags. Those 23 minutes, though, they were something to see. The USF 2000, love seeing the young stars as they're driving up through the ranks. The NASCAR truck race, first time ever on a street course, and they chose St. Pete. It's a 1-year deal. It's done now, but let me tell you that the organizers are pretty happy and pretty pleased. They would welcome a return, and if NASCAR is on their game, they should be starting contract discussions immediately to extend this. They did an especially good job this weekend in St. Petersburg. And I'll tell you why, because everyone that I spoke to, including participants in the race, thought that it was going to be a mayhem, chaos. Nuts. Are we going to get half the laps run under green? It was anything but. Did a really good job, and surprisingly good in considering that the maximum anyone got was 8 laps of practice. They started the practice session. It started to rain on Friday. Wiped it out. That's it. Canceled it. No practice, no qualifying. Lined the field up, and go. Maybe we don't need practice. They did a great job, put on a great show, incredibly well received. It's a no-brainer. It's one of the biggest crowds that they will have all year for the NASCAR Truck Series. Make it come back. Put it together. It was a hit. It does pinch the schedule for MX5 Cup and USF 2000, but you deal with it. It's worth that price. A few one-offs certainly didn't hurt. Great interest because of Dario Franchitti, James Hinchcliffe ran, finished top 10. Nice job. Weekend itself, an enormous success. Did have some rain late in the day on Friday that canceled the rest of the activity for the trucks. Didn't matter. Ticket sales, way up. Lots of partners involved with the event, with the city. Interest is high. This is something that's going to continue to build. The city loves it. The city government loves it. This is a model. This is what you want a street race to be. It is a festival. There's lots of activities and action going on around the race. It's right in the downtown. The businesses love it because it's so busy. Arlington, you'll be up right after Phoenix. I'm going to get an inside look. I'm very excited to see what they have to reveal. NASCAR was at COTA. Is Tyler Reddick ever going to lose? 3 cup races, 3 wins. First time any driver has won 3 straight to start the season. I know we don't focus entirely on results and very little on results on this program, but 3 in a row to start the season, that's worth focusing on. Petty or Pearson didn't do it. Earnhardt, nope. Waltrip, nope. Yarborough, nope. What a season opener. Taking advantage of the chase format and those bonus points that you're getting now for winning, building a big advantage, that's good. That is very good for that team. And please don't pay any attention to this nonsense and those conspiracy theories suggesting, this is all planned. This was all part of the NASCAR deal to come back from the lawsuit and the settlement with 2311. It's nonsense. It's absolutely impossible to pull that off. They've got another lawsuit going on with espionage and JGR and Chris Gabehart right now, and I think NASCAR would like that to go away, but that was just nonsense. A funny story and a fun story of the weekend at COTA, though, and the Cup Series race. Alex Bowman was not feeling particularly well before the race, and in the race became quite ill, pulled the car in. Team wanted to continue, so they found a substitute. Now, they did not have a substitute standing by, but this is where the fun starts. Many will know that Snider has been racing for a number of years, raced in trucks, raced in the O'Reilly Series, has more than 100 starts in the O'Reilly Series, doesn't have anything cooking right now, doesn't have a gig. He's working as a pit spotter for Jamie Little. Pit spotters are someone who works with pit reporters to help dig up stories and get information to assist the reporter. Hendrick, as mentioned, didn't have a driver standing by. So they asked Jamie Little, hey, will you cut him loose so we can put him in the car? Of course, she said yes. Snider got in the car, made his Cup Series debut, ran 18 laps. That's a cool story. That's why racers bring their helmets and their suits to the track. You never know when you're going to get an opportunity. Shortly after I recorded last week's program, and knowing that Formula One was coming up and I want to talk about Formula One this weekend, I wrote a note to myself so I wouldn't forget this thought. And the note said, how long can Netflix run Drive to Survive with Apple TV taking over the U.S. broadcast rights? It just didn't seem to fit. Well, it turns out they can continue to run it for quite some time because a couple of days ago, Apple TV and Netflix announced a deal that is going to have these competing streaming partners essentially working together to help grow the series in F1. Now, Drive to Survive is going to continue. You'll see it on Netflix. Might be able to see it on Apple TV as well. There were a lot of concerns about Apple TV and growing the series. Yes, but it makes sense. Drive to Survive, it'll continue. The Canadian Grand Prix in the U.S. is going to be shown on both Netflix and Apple TV. This is how they're going to help each other. The model is to get as many eyeballs on your series as possible to help grow the series. It normally meant getting on a good broadcast deal. This one's different. I am really intrigued to see how this rolls out and continues to grow for Apple TV. This agreement is much more than just, here, we'll show your races. F1 TV is also going to be available through Apple TV. Apple Music is going to have an audio feed of the races and special playlists for F1 as well. Apple Maps is going to have 3D views of the track. These are just some of the things that we can expect. I think we can expect a stinky Aston Martin car to start the season too. I'm waiting until after the first race to see who's been lying and who's not lying about the performance of their cars amongst the top four. But I think it's pretty easy to say that Aston Martin's going to stink. But interesting to see how this platform is rolling out and how the shows look and how it continues to grow in the broadcast in the United States. No changes in Canada, but I think that's really interesting about how it's going to happen in the U.S. All right, so yes, we got F1 this week. NASCAR gets back in action, of course, again, and IndyCar is off to Phoenix with NASCAR. Going to be a lot to talk about next week on Speed Chronicles. We'll do it again. Thanks for hitting the like and subscribe button and following the social channels. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend of racing. Do it again next Wednesday.